Let's talk about money and how to manifest money, let's say, really fast, especially if you have like an emergency or if you need to manifest money on a time crunch. Let's dive in. Money is my favorite thing ever on this planet, okay? I don't know why I don't talk about this topic. At least I did not do it up until now very much, but I will, don't worry. Okay, so before I can tell you how to manifest money, let me show you why you're not manifesting money right now. It makes more sense if we explain this first. So again, I'm gonna reference back to my own example from my own experience. Last year, spring, summer, I lost my house. Well, I lost the place I was living in. And it was my biggest fear, okay? One of my biggest fears. I knew the law, but I couldn't help it. I couldn't stop focusing on the absence of money. Therefore, I lost the place I was living in at that time. Basically, the reason why you are not manifesting the money that you need right now is because you're focusing on the absence of money. This was also my case. So I lived in panic, full panic mode for 2 months straight. I was focusing on the fact that I'm not getting clients also in my business. I tried to take action to solve the problem. Action like, well, with my business, making more contact, putting my prices lower. Then I also asked for loans from people that I knew, from my bank, from private lenders. All doors were shut. I mean, I did not get money from anywhere. And I knew that if I want money, I have to observe it, as difficult as it sounded and it appeared to be back then. And things really changed when I started noticing the money. But then, of course, I went back to my old state of being. I spiraled again and ended up by losing my house. But listen what happened when I changed my mind about what was happening. So at some point, I made the conscious decision to observe money. I knew this is what it took, okay? And this is what I mean when I say that manifestation is instantaneous. It is, girl. The moment you shift in consciousness, you change your POV, what was hidden before is gonna start revealing itself to you. So I had actually two opportunities to save my house. I sabotaged them both, and I'm gonna tell you how. But once I changed my mind, once I started noticing the money, money was there. So I chose to start noticing the money. And it was fabulous and it was amazing because I started small. First thing I did was like observing the money when I went outdoors, like on my way to the gym, for example. So I started noticing the sidewalk I was walking on was money. Then the houses, then the fences of the houses, then the cars, then people passing me by, their clothes. Then the more I started noticing it, the more I saw it in everything. At some point, I saw it in nature as well, like water can be exchanged for money. We pay for water, right? Wind can produce electricity. We pay for that. You name it. Then, even when I was in my house, I started seeing money everywhere in all things. In fact, there was no thing in my house that was not money. The walls of the house, the furniture, the windows, the table I was sitting at to have lunch, my toothbrush, the toilet paper. So I started seeing money in everywhere because money is everywhere. It's camouflaged in things, but it's everywhere. So see the momentum here? The moment I stopped focusing on the absence and started noticing the presence, it revealed itself to me. It was there all along, but I was blind to it. And listen what happened next. On my way to the gym every day, I was passing by this abandoned apartment building. So it was like a new construction, and I could tell it was abandoned because it lacked windows, and you could see it. The vegetation was high around this building. There was stained walls and everything. You could just tell it was abandoned. I saw this building every day for the last 3 years of me living in that area. And I always wanted to go inside, but something stopped me. Like, I was afraid also, what if there's homeless people living inside there and it's dangerous or whatever. So I never did. But now, once I started noticing the money, and I started noticing everywhere, as I told you before, something told me one day, get inside that house. And I did. Just came back from the gym. On my way back, I got inside, and I'm gonna post pictures of this so you can see it. First impression was, yeah, a lot of garbage. Like the wooden floors were destroyed completely. People have been already there and, took away everything they could, like even the cables from the walls. And then I noticed something. There were these beautiful but dirty double glass windows laying everywhere. Some of those windows were broken already. Some of them had footprints all over them, but most of them were intact, were just dirty. Guess what I saw there, in those windows especially? Of course, money. I saw money. Then I went home and I started investigating, and I found out that those kind of windows, the Klimalit kind of windows, are super expensive, and especially because they were huge. Some of them there were just huge. And I realized, oh my God, it's not that there's not enough money, my previous assumption about money for 30 years. I used to be someone that couldn't see the money anywhere. Like, money was scarce to me, very hard to come by. I thought you have to sacrifice a lot and work very hard for money. Well, this is how I looked at money. So this was my whole entire reality with money for years and years and years. So now I was still in danger to lose my house, but I had something on my hand. And oh my God, I started grasping on this opportunity. Then I started searching for people to help me out with those windows. I started searching for places I could sell or resell those windows, like Windows factories, or, you know, I don't have the names in English. And because I was grasping onto this opportunity, nothing worked. It was like an invisible hand stopping me, or, pulling me back from touching the money. I don't know how to explain this. Don't you have this sensation that when you want something the most, it's like some invisible hand is not allowing you to do it or to get it, or it's like there's an invisible wall between you and your desire and you never get to touch it? Well, I had this sensation. And I allowed myself to be talked out of it, because I would ask people to, I needed also a big car to transport those huge windows. So I would ask people, I would tell them, hey, I found this. Would you come and help me? And some of them said, well, if those windows were worth something, they were not there. Some other people would have taken them away. Others were afraid to do this. Others told me that there's no way I can sell this and make money out of it. Anyways, I allowed myself to be talked out of it. I just gave up on this idea. But hey, I got another opportunity straight after this one. And this opportunity came straight from my back then SP girl. This man was not even in Spain. I had not even knowledge of it. And he showed up all of a sudden at my freaking door. And he showed up with a proposition for a project we could work on at together, and we could make some money out of it. And I also sabotaged this opportunity because my assumptions about this man back in the day was that he's using me, that he is a master manipulator, and he doesn't really care about me. He cares about what can I do for him, that he always has a hidden agenda when it comes to me. And of course, all I could see in that interaction with him was exactly this. Even the fact that he showed up at my door, I saw it as, why didn't you call me to tell me you're in Spain in the first place? You just showed up at my door proposing me stuff. There must be something fishy here. So, second opportunity went again down the drain, just like the first one. And of course, I started spiraling down again. I couldn't grab myself out of it, I couldn't help it. So I lost my house. But what I want to explain with this, because if that would happen to me now, I would knew how to handle the situation. So first step, girl, if you want to manifest money, especially if you're in a situation that you think you're going to get evicted, or you're in a bad situation, you need money urgently right now. First off, stop noticing the absence and start noticing the presence. And I promise to you, once you make this little step, this little change of mind, you're gonna start seeing it everywhere, because it's always everywhere. Let's get into the parallel realities conversation right now. Let's look at it from a deeper level. Why everything is already here now? Well, you as consciousness, as the cause, you are all things simultaneously. Your infinity itself. What is the world of 3D, the world of form and matter? It's an expression of you. 3D is the effect of the cause. What's the cause? Your state of being, girl. Whatever you assume to be happening. Reality doesn't happen outside there. It's not in the eviction or in what your bank account shows you, but inside you, in what you imagine that's happening. All things coexist, all realities are here right now, and they're coexisting as we speak right here right now. There's a reality where you saved your house. There's the reality where you have exactly the money that you need right now. But you cannot see it from where you are in consciousness at the moment. I couldn't see the presence by looking at the absence. You simply can't. You simply can't. This change of mind is necessary, is mandatory. Because again, your experience is your whole reality. It's not in what's happening outside, my love, at all. It's in what you make it mean, how you choose to experience that. I also thought that I'm lying to myself, that reality is objective and it's out there and I cannot do anything about it. And it's useless for me to try to imagine or try to notice the presence of money when the eviction is knocking at my door. I was so wrong, girl. I know it looks real to you because the more you observe it, the bigger it gets and the more solid it looks like. And the moment you change your mind, you start assuming something different, the opposite now starts getting form, starts getting this sensation of reality. All things are here right now. I mean it. This is why I also gave you this example. When you change your mind about somebody, even when you look back, you're gonna only be able to see them through this new assumption that you have. So if someone lied to you, it may look like they always did when you look back at events. It's not in the event, it's in how you see it, in what you make it mean. Do you have different meanings today than back then? Yeah, there are two different realities, girl. Two whole new different realities, because you had two different experiences, and your personal experience is your entire reality. So what do you choose to make out of a situation? What do you choose to observe? In my case, I was so blind, for example, to that house. I was passing by that house for the last 3 years of my life. The house was there, the windows were there. And then the opportunity that came from my SP directly, that was also there, but I only made it visible when I entered the state of being of money is everywhere. I'm also making this video in part for someone that is thinking that she's gonna get evicted. And she was asking me in the comment section that she was telling me that she feels the urge to find another part-time job. Okay, girl, hear me out. Every action that you take thinking you have a problem will keep you in the problem. What do I mean by this? Again, I also posted a lot of content, making a lot of options for coaching and for my previous business, like the tarot readings and stuff. Nothing was working. Nothing was working. How can it? If I keep on telling myself I have a problem, if this is my state of being, if this is the place I am in consciousness, no amount of action can solve anything, because the order is the following, girl. The cause is consciousness. So whatever consciousness is, 3D is also. So I understand that you feel the urge, and you only feel this urge to do more because you are so deep in the state of being of I don't have money, I'm getting evicted. When you change your mind, your action will change also. Notice that action is always inspired. Inspired by what? By your state of being. You only take action always based on what you think to be happening, what you think is true, what you assume that is true, right? So that's the only reason why you feel the urge to go find another job right now, because you're so convinced you're getting evicted. You live in that reality right now. This is your full experience, your full reality. Instead of trying to take action to solve this, move first in consciousness. Move in noticing the money. And let's go step by step with what you have to do to manifest money fast, okay? First off, decide who you are. I did the following. I shut the door to my senses, meaning I stopped looking in the 3D at what I thought it was happening, like the absence of clients, all these evidences of no money. And I decided who I am. I decided that I'm someone that's making 10,000 a month. And from that moment on, I started observing exactly from there, from my new definition of myself. Make a definition of yourself right now, a new one, and don't tie it up to anything from the 3D, or don't place any conditions or any obstacles. Just plain, who do you say you are? I said I am 10,000 a month. And after you do this, you start looking at your reality from this place in consciousness. You start observing the money. What you're gonna see is that you have more than 10,000, a lot more. If you stop and place price tags on everything that surrounds you in your house and everything, you're gonna see that you're so much more than 10,000. You're surrounded by it. You're sitting on it. You're wiping your parts with it, girl. So sorry. You get material. The point is in noticing it. And the more you notice it, the more it reveals itself to you. And the more it hardens into a fact and replaces your old reality. It's not about trying to change your assumption by reasoning or logic or no. Once you start observing something new, you're gonna keep on seeing it. If you're gonna keep on seeing it, the more things you see on the outside, the more proof you get of your new assumption, the more it will harden into a belief in your head. And in turn, the more it will harden into a permanent reality for you. And it's gonna replace the old one. So again, decide who you are right now. And again, your decision has to be pure in a sense that you don't condition yourself. You don't condition your new decision on anything. I don't care if you never made this money before that you want to make. I don't care if you are unemployed. I don't care anything. These are conditions, these are obstacles you place yourself there. And then you think you can't because of that. But no, why you cannot is because of what you're telling yourself, not because of an external obstacle. Just decide who you are and then decide from that point on, look at your world from that point of view. Start observing it everywhere. You're gonna be surprised. You're gonna be surprised. You're gonna observe it in what's surrounding you right now and also in the past, in past events. You told yourself so long that you don't have money, that's all you can see. But when you change your idea and you look back, you're gonna see that you always had money to pay for your house. You always had money to pay for your food, for stuff. You're gonna realize, hey, I always had money. Why am I saying I didn't? Why am I saying that I always struggled? It's gonna not it's gonna stop making sense for you. And then you stay there, no matter what happens in 3D. My problem was that I was doing things correctly. Opportunities showed up, yeah. But then every time I would get a call from my landlord, I would freak out. And I would go back to my old state of being, yeah. Don't freak out with anything that happens in 3D. I swear to you, it's a guarantee. The more you dwell in whatever assumption, the more you see it and the more it hardens into fact by the second. By the second, girl. It was always there. That house was always there. My SP was always there. The possibilities are always there. But you cannot access them from a contrary state of mind. You just simply can't. I cannot know how things are gonna come to me. Like I I couldn't think in 1,000 years that I would go in that house and see free money on the floor. Or that my SP would show up at my freaking door out of nowhere and show up exactly with what I needed with an opportunity like this. You cannot devise the how, you cannot guess the how. That's not your business. Your business is to to decide who you are, and then to stay faithful to that and observe it everywhere. Because with the decision comes also the change of mind. It's mandatory, okay? But it's not something forceful. I decide what to observe. I decide if I want to have a good day or a bad day today. I decide if I say to myself I'm going to have a good day, it doesn't matter what happens on the outside. It doesn't matter. I don't know. I'm still going to have a good day. Now if I decide I'm going to have a bad day, even if nice things happen to me, I'm not going to be able to see them. And I'm going to have a bad day. Why? Because I said so to myself. And another quick example, and then we wrap things up. I was watching one of my favorite ASMR artists over TikTok. They were live. And there were some dogs barking in the background. And I saw the chat. Yeah, some people really had trouble ignoring those dogs barking in the background. But see, at the same time, two things were happening here. These beautiful sounds that she was making, and then the dogs barking. What do you choose to observe? They're both there. Do you choose to observe the dogs? Then you're gonna keep on hearing the dogs and not the show, the ASMR show. Or do you choose to listen to the beautiful sounds she was making? So this applies to you as well. You are surrounded by money. I can tell you that right now. I don't care how bad you think it is. You are surrounded by money. Allow yourself to see it, because it's not in the numbers, it's in the implication, in the meaning you give what's happening, right? You are surrounded by money. See it. And again, decide who you are, because as a human, you cannot exist in both realities at the same time. In both, I saved my house and I'm getting evicted. So you have to choose. By focusing on I'm getting evicted, I don't have enough, I need this money and I don't have it, I have a timeline, I have to pay this and that. By focusing on that side of the story, you keep it alive. That's what's keep on happening for you. That's how you're going to keep on experiencing no matter what happens on the outside. Once you change, you invite things that were already there, you invite them in your experience, in your reality. Think about how much do you need, decide they're a thing already done, and live your life from this new POV on. Look at your reality, at your life from this new perspective. I promise the money is there waiting on you to notice it, and the opportunities as well. And by the way, just because the opposite shows up, like the landlord keeps on calling you, that doesn't mean you're not on the timeline where you want to be. This was my mistake, actually. So I was noticing the money, I saw it everywhere, these two opportunities came in, but then I was freaking out at seeing my landlord's name on my phone. I thought that if he's calling me to ask me when I gonna pay, that I'm doing something wrong. I was not. I just had to, not take this so seriously. Your life can change in a second, girl. I mean, look at my situation in both cases with my SP and the windows. In the morning, I went to the gym, no money. I came back, I saw that money laying on the floor, yeah? With my SP as well. At 10 a.m., I had no money. At 2 p.m., he shows up at my house with this opportunity, with this offering, with this project. Your life can change in a second. Don't underestimate your power. And with all this said, I think I'm gonna wrap things up here. Thank you for watching, and let me know. You can write down in the comments how you understand this and what's your goal. Who do you say you are? Thank you for being here, and talk to you soon. Bye bye.